You guys, welcome to Sick of Pricks, a type 2 diabetes podcast. I'm Mary, your diabetes bestie. And today we're diving into a topic that every single person with diabetes knows too well. It's the blood sugar roller coaster. The shaky, sweaty, panicky lows and the foggy, sluggish, I could sleep for days highs, and the mental chaos and exhaustion that comes with both of those. Let's be real, this part of diabetes can be exhausting. It's unpredictable and it messes with so much more than just the number on your meter. So we're going to talk about it. No shame, no judgment, just real talk. Let's get into it. Low blood sugar is no joke. I remember when I was maybe 16, getting a call from my dad's gym that he passed out on the gym floor. Why? Because he took his medicine, he didn't eat breakfast, he went to the gym on an empty stomach, and he fell out on the floor. His blood sugar was 30-something, and they had to bring him back from this blood sugar crash by calling the paramedics, and the paramedics actually treating him with fast-acting glucose, okay? Let's start with the symptoms of low blood sugar, because you may have experienced this and not even know that that's what it was. You're shaky, you're sweaty, your heart is pounding, your hands might be trembling, you feel like you could cry or snap or pass out, and all of that at one time. Sometimes you're dizzy. Sometimes you feel like you could eat the entire contents of your refrigerator. You're confused. I like to describe it like you're moonwalking. Have you ever been on a bounce house and tried to walk? Or when you are on the treadmill for a long time and you step off and your steps feel like you're spacewalking? That's how I describe it. That's how I feel during a low blood sugar. And then to top all of that, your brain is telling you, survive, 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 eat all the things, okay? So if that has ever happened to you, welcome to hypoglycemia. It can happen for lots of reasons. Maybe, like my dad, you took your meds and then you didn't eat, or you took your meds and planned to eat, but you got stuck in traffic on the way home and you didn't have a snack in your car. Maybe you went for a walk and you didn't realize that your blood sugar was going to tank. Maybe you're just sensitive to change and life threw you a curveball and you weren't expecting it. The most important part, though, is you treat it. So how do we do it? The rule of thumb is 15 grams of fast-acting carbs. So things like juice, glucose tabs, sugary, like crunchy, chewy candies, not chocolate, we'll get to that. Regular soda, something that your body can absorb quickly. I like to keep, if you're a Chick-fil-A person, or, I don't know what other restaurants do this. I just know Chick-fil-A does. When you're going through the drive-thru, ask Chick-fil-A for packets of honey. They have them individual packs like ketchup, but honey. And honey, spoiler alert, doesn't spoil. You can keep these in your car, okay? That way you always have something available. So the rule of thumb, 15 grams of fast-acting carbs, like I said. You wait 15 minutes and then you recheck your blood sugar to see where it's at. Now, here's the thing that I don't think gets talked about enough, okay? If you treat low blood sugar with something that has protein or fat, like peanut butter, like chocolate, a full meal, it can actually slow down how fast your blood sugar comes back up. Those types of foods are fine after you've raised your low and you're stable, but in the moment, you need something that your body is going to absorb immediately. So let's talk about the danger zone, in my opinion. If you're hovering like at 70, you probably have time to eat a meal. Like say it's lunchtime and you're at 70, you go eat lunch, you're fine. But if it's 10 a.m. and you're at 40, I don't want you to make a whole meal. I want you to treat that low with the fast-acting carbs. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, I'm not a doctor and I'm not your doctor. So make sure that you discuss all of these things with your medical team so that you have expert advice from your care team who knows your specific needs. Here's the thing. When you're in a low, your logic kind of goes out the window. You're not thinking to yourself, let me calmly measure out 15 grams of carbohydrates. You're thinking, if I don't eat 2 bowls of cereal right now, I might not survive this. And I'm not being dramatic because that's really how it feels. Then you end up eating everything. Chips, cookies, cereal, leftovers. You stand at the refrigerator and you eat until you feel better. And by the time you're back in range, you feel sick, you're bloated, you're half asleep, and you're wondering what the heck just happened to me. It's like an out-of-body experience. But it's biology. You're not doing anything wrong. We just have to prepare ourselves a little bit better when it comes to that. So what I started doing when I was battling lows frequently, when I was changing up my dosages of meds and coming off insulin, I would keep a small bottle of juice on my nightstand for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you feel low, it's kind of scary to get out of bed. My body wakes me up when I'm having a low, thank goodness. But it's always really scary to like walk across the house. So having that juice box or a little bottle of juice on the nightstand is reassurance for me. Second, it keeps me from eating the entirety of my kitchen because I used to go to the kitchen, grab cereal and milk and eat super fast, and then I would eat more because I still didn't feel good. I never gave my body that 15-minute window to check after. I just kept eating until I felt better. And now I prepare for those, and so I'm able to keep myself in check. Here's one more tip for recovery. Once your blood sugar is back in range, try to eat a small snack that includes some protein and fat. Why do we do that? The fast-acting carbs are going to shoot your blood sugar up quickly, hopefully to an in-range number, but you burn through them really fast. So if there's nothing else in your system, chances are your blood sugar is not going to hold steady. It's going to crash again an hour later. And then you guys, if you've ever been on a roller coaster, that up and down, it hits hard. Okay. And so you want to make sure that once you're in range, you eat something that's going to help you stabilize that blood sugar. It's not just about treating the low, it's about recovering from it. So think to yourself, a piece of cheese, a spoonful of peanut butter, a boiled egg, small handful of almonds, a combination of those things. It doesn't have to be a huge meal, just enough to help keep you stable. Now we're going to switch to the flip side. When your blood sugar is high. This is different for everyone, but when your blood sugar is high, you can feel thirsty, you might have a headache, you might feel tired, foggy, annoyed at everyone and everything, that's me, and like you need to pee every 10 minutes. And the longer it stays high, the worse that you feel. And it doesn't always make sense, you guys. Maybe you ate something new, maybe you forgot your meds, maybe you're stressed, maybe you didn't sleep, maybe your hormones are raging, or maybe, this is the fun part, there's no reason at all. Because sometimes diabetes just does whatever it wants. I say all the time in Sugar Mama Strong Diabetes Support, when someone asks a question that there's really no true answer to because we can't see what's happening inside our bodies, I say because diabetes is stupid. And sometimes your blood sugar is high because diabetes is stupid. And sometimes you see that number and guilt kicks in, like, what did I do wrong? I thought I was being careful. But you guys, blood sugar can be unpredictable. Your body is not a math formula that has a definite answer. So how do we help the blood sugar come down? Here's what can help. Hydrate. Water helps flush the glucose from your system. Move a little. A short walk can bring down your blood sugar, but it has to be safe to do. And we are going to talk a little bit about that in a second. Take your meds if you forgot them and it's safe to do so, but make sure you're not doubling up without doctor's permission or guidance. And sometimes you just have to wait it out. If you do not have access to fast acting insulin, chances are you're just going to have to wait for it to come down. Okay, now let's talk about that exercise component of bringing down blood sugar because you'll hear a lot of people tell you your blood sugar's high, go for a walk. Your blood sugar's high, exercise. I am here to tell you that exercise can also spike your blood sugar because your body doesn't know the difference between going for a jog and being chased by a bear. The same hormones are released, and your body responds to stress by releasing that glucose. So for me, for example, when I was taking my black belt test, my blood sugar got into like the 300s. There was nothing that I could do about it. When I was done with my test, it plummeted down. Okay, so just the adrenaline and the stress of that test spiked my blood sugar. I was exercising for 6 hours, but it didn't matter. My blood sugar was still high. So here's the rule, the official rule. If your blood sugar is over 250 and you have moderate or large ketones, that's something that you check. There's sticks that you can dip in your pee-pee. You can buy them at the drugstore. If your blood sugar is over 250 and you have moderate or large ketones, it's safer to wait instead of exercise. So for me, as a general rule, because ketones is not something that I check at home, if I am over 250, I don't exercise. That's just kind of my guideline for myself. I just wait it out because my fear is that I'll spike to 400 if I'm exercising to try to bring it down. Okay. The biggest thing though, guys, is that you don't panic. You don't beat yourself up and you don't give up because this is all just a big experiment and we're trying to find out what works for us. A high number or high numbers when you're trying to figure out the best medication, the best way of eating, the best movement for your body, it's data. It's not a moral failing. We use it to learn and then we move on using what we know. So, what do we do after the high, after the low? How do we recover from the emotional aftermath? After a low, you might feel exhausted, nauseous, mentally foggy. You might be embarrassed if it's something that happened in public. I know my dad was mortified after that episode at the gym. You might be frustrated that it keeps happening. After a high, you might feel defeated, ashamed, anxious about diabetes complications because we know that the higher our blood sugar is, the longer it's high, the more we're opening ourselves up to those complications. You might be angry at yourself. You might be angry at your body. But here's the thing. The swings that we're experiencing, they're not just physical. They are what I call emotional storms. And sometimes it feels like you're expected to just bounce back like it's nothing. I am here to tell you it's not nothing. Okay? Blood sugar swings drain you. They affect your mood, your sleep, your appetite, your ability to focus. And you are allowed to slow down, rest, and recover. You're not being lazy. Okay? You're taking care of your body and listening to what it needs. So, how do we stay prepared without obsessing over the numbers? Here are some tips that actually help. Keep low snacks everywhere. Your purse, your nightstand, your car, your desk at work, everywhere. Okay? Don't wait until you're crashing. Check at the first sign of weirdness. And I don't mean to make light of it, but the second that you're feeling a little off, your body's trying to tell you something. Don't push through. Don't say, oh, I'll be fine. check immediately, because the sooner you can detect that, the sooner that you recognize it, the faster you can treat it, and the better you're going to feel in the long run. Make a post-low plan. Have your snack with protein after to stay stable. And then track your patterns so you can figure out if this is something that happens after you work out, after you eat a certain food, after you take your meds and then work out. When are these lows or highs happening? And if this is something that happens often, this up and down extremes, talk to your doctor. Seriously, they need to know what's going on, because there might be a better way for you to manage. And if you don't share what's happening with you, they're not mind readers. They're not going to know. They're going to think everything is fine. And if someone ever tells you, well, if you just blah, 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 you can politely direct them to this episode, or not politely, whatever works for you in the moment. Hopefully you're not low or high, because for me, I'm not nice. Okay, so here's what helped me most when dealing with lows and highs, because I've dealt with plenty of them, and I still deal with them on a weekly basis because, as I said before, diabetes is stupid and makes no sense. Okay, realizing that blood sugar swings weren't a reflection of my failure, they were a reflection of how complex type 2 diabetes management can be. I stopped making every low feel like a crisis and every high feel like a judgment. Now I treat it, I recover, and I move on. And part of that recovery is having a plan, okay? Having a plan allows me to trust myself more and not less. And I also give myself grace in the chaos, not just when everything is smooth sailing. If you've had a rough week of highs and lows, I want you to know you are not alone and you are doing enough. If this episode hit home, send it to your diabetes bestie, your coworkers, your friends, your family, anyone who has seen you go through the highs and lows of blood sugar management and who maybe needs to know exactly how to help you when the roller coaster hits. Make sure you subscribe to Sick of Pricks on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.